Hi there. How are you? All right. Can you hear me well? Yes. Okay, super. Let's wait for a couple minutes. I guess the lights are fine. All right. And microphone, yes. Okay, guys. We are going to start real soon. If you want to grab some coffee or tea, I have my tea here. And send me a message if anything happens, if you cannot hear me or anything. And Walter says he can hear me. So we're going to start in a minute. Okay. Okay, we're going to introduce our schools first. So I have my manager also connected. So we started in Argentina in 2017, although I was already teaching for so many years before, but I decided to open a school with my own method. The method was mixing drama lessons with English. It was more about dialogues mixed with some drama, so people would recreate everything that would happen to them during a trip or in the office, and they were practicing that for real. The idea was that if the person could recreate that over and over again, then they would actually, when it happened for real, it would be okay. It would be okay. And so that's what we did. And we started teaching in person in Argentina. And we decided to open a branch in Spain. And so we have now two academies. Both are now online, 100% online, because our clients are mostly professionals from all over the world. So we have clients in the USA, we have clients in Mexico, we have, of course, in Argentina and Spain. We have some in Rome and other places in Italy, smaller towns. And so our clients are all over the world, but they are mostly professionals. So our turn into professional English coaching, it became pretty much something regular and normal. People saying, "Teacher, I need to learn a soft skill. I would like to use my lessons to learn that soft skill." Us teaching them how to manage their time, etc. Idioms and phrasal verbs, I decided to give it a sort of different kind of approach because my students said, "Teacher, I've been learning this forever. I can never use idioms or phrasal verbs at work." So I decided to give it some touch of humor and also a lot of visuals for you so you can remember them. So basically, our academies teach with different strategies so that people can learn what they need. It's a very personalized thing. So it depends on whether you're a doctor, financial advisor, or maybe you are just, a salesman who needs English to sell in Portugal and France. So this is super, super personalized, what we do. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we are going to wait for a bit, and let me share the presentation. All right, and I'm going to present it over here. Okay, so let's see how you can see me. Let's give it a minute. Let's see. Okay, now you can see. Yes, now you can see. And this is an introduction, and you see that we are going to study idioms using a lot of jokes, using a lot of memes, a lot of visuals. And we are going to try to learn the idioms and memorize just the ones that you need. I will ask you to please send me a message with your name if you would like to participate in the quizzes. Um, okay, super. So I'm going to start with this one. Yes. All right. Okay. Let's give it one more minute. I have 200 people enrolled, and I'm going to wait for a bit. If you want to grab some tea or coffee, you can do it. So right now we are doing a lot of coaching in English. But one of the things that has been coming up again and again is idioms and phrasal verbs. Now, the question that my students asked me is so why they are separate. And I thought that was a great idea to teach this together. So my idea to teach idioms and phrasal verbs together was because both are idiomatic. So if I tell you the idiom or the phrasal verb, you will not understand what they mean because there is an idiomatic meaning for both. Now, all the examples that I will give you are for a work environment. So you will be able to relate to it from the work environment point of view. You always have our number. So you will see our number over here and our website for businesses. And this is my name, Melissa. You can call me Melly. And I am the academic director of English Now in Spain and also Cinnamon English School in Argentina. We are mainly streaming for Spain, England, and Argentina, but we have other people watching this later on. And the name that I chose for these is idioms and phrasal verbs at work, real world examples with a touch of humor, and you will take home fun exercises. So we're going to start now. And like I said, I help professionals develop their English skills, and this is something that I see that it's essential, especially the oral skills like listening and speaking. For reading and writing, I will give you a lot of tools, but you're not going to waste time with me for reading and writing too much. I'm going to just give you the tools for you to write an email, but mostly I will teach you how to understand people depending on the accent that you need. If you need American, if you need British, if you are working for Indian people, if you are working for people from a certain country, I will teach you that accent so you can really tackle your issues. I'm an English teacher, I'm a translator, I'm a business English coach, and you can just search for my name on LinkedIn if you want to know more. Just know that I have some students that I've been helping recently. For example, this team leader, I had to help him understand certain common idioms that when he was receiving some calls, those people were using a lot of idioms. The same for the sales manager. I was using some phrasal verbs to sound more natural, not so robotic, and I focus on real life examples. And I use the techniques that are from drama, from theater. So you will practice this in a very minimalist way, and I will help you remember them with confidence and use them. And finally, being able to use them, because you may know them, but you don't know how to use them. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, separating, I've decided to put them together and to separate 6 sections per level. Levels for the British framework is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. C2 is like it's a proficiency near native speaker. So I'm going to focus on them so that you can go from the specifics, from the ones that you already kind of know and you can refresh, to the ones that you don't know yet and you say, oh, this is so cool, I can use this finally. So let's start with the A1 level. And if you want to send me a message, I can read your chat. I have like 3 monitors, so you can send me messages and I will always be reading your messages. Don't worry. So let's start with call back. When you return a phone call, yes, so you say, call me back. And the example is, please call me back when you get this message. When you're looking for something, you're searching for something. Remember search when you search on Google? So it's similar, but in person, like when you're looking for your phone. Yeah. So you can say in the office, you can say, we are looking for new ideas to boost sales, make them rocket. Um, when someone hangs up, and this is a very old symbol for a phone, because nowadays phones are more like this, right? But this is hung up. So you end a phone call. So if you hear somebody saying, oh my God, I accidentally hung up on my boss, that means that they pressed the wrong button. Yes. I also chose turn off for any machine. Yeah, so you stop it from working. So air conditioning, TV, cell phone, any machine, you can say turn off. So you can say, for example, when you don't want to go into the media and you have all your notifications are on and you're like, oh my God, I have to finish this presentation and I need time. So she turned off her notifications to focus. When you take care of something, for example, you are responsible for something. So we use this a lot for work. For example, your boss can come and say, could you take care of this task for me? And they can give you something or send you something. Maybe this is an email too. So could you take care of this client for me? And so you have to do it. It's your responsibility. When something goes up, prices, for example, it's an increase. So prices go up during Christmas, during the holiday season, for example. Pretty sure to show up is to arrive. So he showed up an hour late. And then to find out is to discover, to get some information. Yeah. So for example, I can say, let's find out if the client has any questions. That means that maybe you're going to call them, to call the client to discover the questions that they have. Then a very important verb, don't forget to study this one. All of you have to study, figure out. We use it so much. It's like to solve a problem, to understand how to solve it. So there is an error coming up. Yes, and you say they finally figured out the error. So check these memes. I really like to study idioms with memes. So if you start checking them, you'll see, for example, the first one is about go up. So chickens, when the price of eggs goes up, they are like, cheerful. And the second one is figure out. Remember when you're trying to figure out something like solve an issue. So figuring out the ovulation schedules. Oh my God. Um, Another one is a typical when you're looking for the remote control. So me starting the daily ritual looking for the remote control. And then you have a dog. It's like, good night, baby. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. So remember, hang up. And then this is a hang up. It's very confusing because you're actually doing something that goes down, but like you are interrupting the call. So, me, after finding out there are people online pretending to be young when they are old. So, this one is about finding out, discovering something. When you show up at the party, when you show up to the party and there's no party at all. So, showing up, when you go somewhere and you appear. So, for this quiz, you will have to type in your answers. And we have A, B, or C. As most of you are going to watch the recorded one, I will give you a minute to try to get the answer to this one. So, for this scenario, your manager says, this report is incomplete. Can you investigate what's missing? So, you have three options: turn off, find out, and hang up. So, take a minute and tell me what you think is going to be the option. What do you think is the option? A, B, or C? You have to type it in. Yes, you have to type it in. And you can just give me the letter. You don't have to write everything. So I'm going to read your messages now. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Walter says B. Okay. So the first option says turn off. The second option says find out. And the next option says hang up. So definitely the answers are going to be when I send you this. And yes, the option is find out. So this report is incomplete. Can you find out? Yes, or investigate what's missing. For the next one, you missed a call from a coworker, so you couldn't answer, and they ask you to return it. What do you think? Turn off, call back, or hang up? I'm going to read your messages now. Okay. Waiting for your messages. And I will give you a couple seconds. C. Okay, let's see. Let's see the answer now. Okay, the answer is call back. Yes, not hang up. It's a call back. Call back, somebody is to return the call. Now, for the next scenario, your colleague asks, can you help me understand why the software isn't working? So, what do you think? It's A, figure out. Is it to go up or to look for? Have to choose A, B, or C. I'm going to give you a couple seconds and read your messages. So just writing in the chat, it's fine. And you can use just the letters if you want. Okay, we're going to check your answer. And Walter said A. Yes, this one is correct. Yes. Figure out. All right. Very good. And we have now, we are going to the section A2. Remember that the idioms and phrasal verbs are divided into levels. So you can start with the easy ones and move up to the most difficult ones. So that's section 8. So I chose a few. I chose a piece of cake. Something is like super easy. You can say it's a piece of cake. So for work, we will apply this. Finishing this report is a piece of cake. I could do it with my eyes closed. So something is a piece of cake, super easy. To break the ice, it's to tell a story or something to relax a bit before a conversation. So you make people feel more comfortable in social situation. So for example, I can share a story to break the ice. Yes. For example, during this webinar or workshop. To learn something by heart is to memorize something completely. So before the big presentation, I don't know if you can read the whole thing. I will tell you what it says. Before the big presentation, she learned all the key figures by heart to appear confident in front of the stakeholders. What you need from here is that she learned by heart. It means that she memorized. Now for the exercises. When you give it a shot, you try something. That means that you try once, yes, to see how it goes. So I've never presented before, but I'll give it a shot. You can say that if you're going to present, to give a presentation. When you keep an eye on somebody or something, you watch carefully or you monitor something. So you can say, please keep an eye on the new intern, new employee, while she's learning the ropes. This is full of idioms. So like, try to keep an eye on a person that is just starting to understand the office, the work. Turn up means to arrive, yes, to appear. And you can say that somebody didn't turn up to the conference call. They didn't come. Hold on, wait. Please hold on while I transfer your call. So when you call someone, say, I would like to speak to Melissa, please. Yes. Please hold on while I transfer your call. You have to wait. When you put off a meeting or session, it means that you postpone it. So if you say they put off the training session because half the team wasn't available, sometimes I put off a few webinars because I need more time to prepare, for example. I can say that. It's not true, but I can say that. And to stand out is like to be super obvious. It's to be noticeable and to be good, so good that you are noticeable and you excel. His efforts made him stand out in the team. So take a look at that. And now we have some jokes and some memes. So take a look at the first one. It's a test, and it was a piece of cake. So what's the meaning? Yeah, super. So Deberg is saying that he's a beginner. It's okay, you can practice with me. I will try to speak slower and you can re-watch it 100 times if you want, okay? Thank you for coming. I know that you're watching my videos. So a piece of cake you can use. A piece of cake is something is very easy, yes? And when you give it a shot, when you're socially awkward, but you still give it a shot. So all this interaction is about someone is super weird, strange, but you still want to give it a shot with the girl you like. Yes, like to give it a try, let's say. And okay, the next one is a meme. It's a kind of joke, yes. Learn all 20 amino acids by heart. So by heart means that you are memorizing. So imagine this cat is memorizing. It's learning by heart. And the next joke, I've seen it 100 times. When we say break the ice and you want to start a conversation, how much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. So they are so heavy that they may break the ice. But figuratively speaking, not literally speaking. So now let's see A, B, or C. You have to tell me which idiom fits the situations better. So, for the first one, your colleague is learning a new skill and you decide to monitor their progress closely. We want to say monitor. What do you think? A, B, or C? I will give you a few seconds to answer. And you can just write the letter if you want. Um, I'm reading your messages. People come and go. So let's see the answer now. And this is to keep an eye. Yes, very good, Walter. For the next one, at the start of a workshop, you tell a funny story to make everyone comfortable. Well, you know this one because I talked about it. So I will wait for you to write the letter. And it's about the polar bear too, right? So I'm going to read your answers. Uh, let's see. Excellent. Very good. Mhm. I have three monitors, so you will see me checking your messages on one side and checking the other for the connection. For the next scenario, the presentation was so simple that it felt effortless to complete, something that um, doesn't give you a lot of problems, you know? So it was super effortless, is like easy. And let's check the answers. I will see if you send me. Okay, let's wait for 10 seconds. This one. Remember, something was easy? Yes. Let's see. Stand down. Mm. Um, so when something is easy or effortless, it's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. We are moving on to the B1 intermediate level, and we have some idioms and phrasal verbs. But this time I'm going to start showing you a lot of visuals, okay? Because B1, B2, C1, C2 are going to be a bit more challenging. When people are on the same page, as you can see in the picture, it means that they agree. They have the same understanding. So before presenting to the client, the team reviewed the strategy to make sure they were on the same page. When you're feeling under the weather, you're feeling ill, sick. So she's under the weather today. She's taking a sick day. It means that she's not coming to the office. And when you put up with somebody or something, you have to tolerate something that is so unpleasant, so bad. For example, I don't know how he puts up with the chaos. It's something very bad. When you look into something, you investigate it like a detective. We'll look into the client's complaint and get back to them soon. When you turn down an offer, you reject it. You don't want it. So she had to turn down the job offer because the salary was too low. So she rejected it. When you hit the nail on the head, you see this is a nail and this is a head and this is a hammer. When you hit it on the head, you say exactly what is right, right. So I think you hit the nail on the head with that idea. When you pull yourself together, you come down, you behave normally, you're okay. So after hearing the bad news, he took a deep breath to pull himself together. It's like he was trying to calm down, yes. And this one is very difficult to remember, but it's super common, unfortunately. So try to think about this expression: bite off more than you can chew. Like you have, like, mm, you try to do more than you can, than you possibly can. So when you try to bite off more than you can chew, you feel like the man in this picture. I bit off more than I could chew by saying yes to everything. So you say yes, okay. Can you do that? Yeah, this yes. Can you do this? Yes, 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 yes. Then you can say, oh my God, I bit off more than I could chew. When companies cut corners, they do something cheaply. They don't put so much money on it. It's compromising quality even. So the company cut corners on materials, so they're kind of cheap. So by looking at these idioms that I showed you first, a little bird told me you were under the weather, and I ate it. I hope you feel better. So, um, if you're under the weather, you know you're not feeling good. The other man says, I can't put up with this mess anymore. I'm moving out. And this is a real mess. I wouldn't put up with that either. So let's see our quiz now for the scenario that says before the meeting, the team reviewed their plans to ensure they all had the same understanding. You have A, B, or C, and you have to choose. I will give you just a moment and check the emails and messages here. Okay, so let's see what you say. So, A, bite off more than you can chew. B, on the same page. And C, pull yourself together. Okay, let's see. So, when you have the same understanding, it's B, it's you're on the same page. Remember that we had all the people on the same page standing. The next one says the candidate decided to reject the job offer because it didn't meet her expectations. So you have to choose A, B, or C. And I'm going to check your answers here. So turn down, cut corners, or look into. What do you think? Okay, let's see. Yes, very good, Walter. Thank you for answering all the questions. Turn down, yes. For the next scenario, he's dealing with a lot of stress, but he managed to stay calm and act normally. So, what would you say? Pull yourself together, put up with, or somebody's under the weather? So, I'm going to check your answers now. And A, B, or C? We have some time. We are B1. This is a B1 level. So I can see somebody says B. Uh, and when you pull yourself together, you stay calm. You act normally. Okay. For the section to B2, this is upper intermediate level, and we are moving up to some more very common but challenging expressions. For example, you keep someone in the dark and you do not inform them about something, you leave them out so they don't know. So, for example, the employees were kept in the dark about the company's restructuring plans until the last moment. So when your boss doesn't tell you that you're going to be laid off or dismissed, or somebody's going to be dismissed, and you are kept in the dark, it happened to me many times in companies. You don't know. You just don't know. We should keep him in the dark. It says for the gift. It's from a movie. When you give your 2 cents, you give your opinion. So, what's your 2 cents? Somebody can say, what's your 2 cents? What's your opinion? I'm checking messages, so if you send me a message, I can read it. I would like to give my 2 cents on how we can improve the project. I would like to give my opinion, my 2 cents. This I love and I use it all the time. The ball is in your court. The ball is in his court. It's like that person has to take action and to make a decision. So I've done all I can to help with the project. Now the ball is in your court. And this is more or less the expression that we use when if I pass the ball, then it's your and you should answer and you should act because you have the ball. Yes. And there is a history for this. The idiom, the ball is in your court, is derived from the sport of tennis. And when the ball bounces in your court, you must take action and hit it to keep the game going. So it's about the bouncing balls and you getting there to fix it. Now, when you get the ball running, you start something. It can be a project, it can be a task. So when you say, let's get the ball rolling, it's like, come on, let's start. So let's get the ball rolling on this presentation, for example. And when you ask somebody to keep you in the loop, if you could keep me in the loop, that would be great. It's like, inform me, keep me informed. So I want to make sure everyone is in the loop about the new company policy. And this one is super important. And actually, in Spain, they use the same expression in Spanish now because they borrowed from English to think outside box. So when you are creative, you don't think things as usually. You are unconventional. You have unconventional ideas. So you see that picture. That's unconventional, okay? And we need to think outside the box to solve this problem, like to be unconventional. I love this one that says in its infancy. So some project or task or something that you are doing is in its early stages, like this chicken. And so it's in its infancy. So the project is still in its infancy. So we have a long way to go. Now, when you take the bull by the horns, like that picture, you face a difficult situation with courage and with determination. We need to take the bull by the horns and address the client's concerns directly. So you take responsibility. Something difficult. When somebody's wet behind the ears, they are inexperienced, they are naive. She's wet behind the ears, but with time and training, I'm sure she'll get the hang of it. And the picture from a movie says, my last assistant was only 23 and still wet behind the ears. Well, too long. And this idiom is derived from an expression from when a baby is born. There's still like amniotic fluid behind their ears. So that's why we say that. When you have a lot on your plate, and I use it so much, you have so much to do. You are super busy. I don't know, you have to do something for your mother, for your father, for your son, for your uncle. You have work, you have projects, you have a lot of things. So I love to help with the new project, but I already have a lot on my plate with these deadlines. Call it a day means I will finish. So when I finish this workshop, I will say, let's call it a day. And so we can go home, something like that. So we've made good progress. Let's call it a day. That's a meaning. I like the picture that says, I got a lot on my plate right now. That is a literal meaning. So you have to choose A, B, or C, and you have to type it in the chat. So the manager didn't share any details about the upcoming changes. Employees felt completely unaware, yes, unaware of what was happening. A, keep in the dark. B, have a lot on your plate. And C, call it a day. Now you have to choose, and I'm going to check your answers. What are your answers? So A, keep in the dark. B, have a lot on your plate. And C, call it a day. So I will give you 2 more seconds. So yeah, and this one is to keep in the dark, as you said. Thank you for participating. Now, for the next one, I've given you all the information and the tools that you need to proceed. Now it's your responsibility to act. So, A, B, or C. And so you can choose and let me know if you want to participate. You can just type it in and I can check it from my other monitor. Okay, let's see. So when Okay. Okay, it's your responsibility to act. This one. Okay, the ball is in your court. Very good. Now, the last 1 hour brainstorming session encouraged everyone to explore creative ideas. What do you think? It's A, B, or C? So let's see what your answers are. And I'm checking my other monitor to see your answers. Thank you for coming, everyone. So let's see the answer for this quiz. And you think outside the box. Very good. You have creative ideas. For the C1 Advanced, stay with me because I would like to teach you new idioms that you may not even know. When you cut to the chase, you just get to the point. You are not beating about the bush, you just got to the point. And for example, let's cut to the chase and discuss all the points of the meeting. Why do we say chase? Chase is like you follow somebody or run after somebody, like the picture with Tom and Jerry. So the phrase cut to the chase originated in the American film industry when many early movies ended in a chase scene. So if you cut to the chase, it's like that scene that you can see where they are chasing each other. If something is done under the table, like a payment, it's illegal. It's something done secretly. It's clandestine. So I heard they made the deal under the table, which isn't acceptable. And you can see the picture, closing a deal, paying under the table, and that happens a lot. When you are in hot water, you are in trouble. If I lose this client, I'll be in hot water, like the picture. Now, when you learn the ropes, when you have a new job, you have to learn the ropes. And it's an expression where you start to become familiar with all the details, all the information that they give you. And it's something like learning the important details, let's say. So it took me a few weeks to learn the ropes, but now I'm fully comfortable in my role. So, what can happen when paraprofessionals are left to learn the ropes without appropriate training and supervision? This is what may happen. When your boss says, in a nutshell, blah, 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 it means that they are summarizing something. So, nutshell is a picture and the summary is inside. In a nutshell, we need to streamline our process to save time. When you climb the corporate ladder, you advance within a company's hierarchy. So she's determined to climb the corporate ladder no matter what it takes. So we have a meme and the actual picture of me trying to climb the corporate ladder. Something went wrong with that. I'm pretty sure you all want to climb it. So we're going to use A, B, or C. It's always the same game, but different scenarios. So if this project fails, I'll be in serious trouble with management. So you have to say if this is in a nutshell, in hot water, or under the table. So I'm going to give you a minute here to answer those, and I'm going to check my other monitor to see if I have any messages. Walter says B. Thank you for participating, Walter. The others are too shy. Or you can all participate. Come on. Just giving me the answers. I'm very friendly as a teacher. So it is in hot water, in serious trouble. Very good. And the next scenario says some employees claim they were paid off the record, yeah, for overtime hours. So off the record, something is hidden. What do you think? I will give you a minute for this and check my other monitor to see your answers. Under the table is A, learn the ropes for B, or climb the corporate ladder for C. Walter says A. Do you agree, guys? What do you think it is when something is done off the record, like nobody knows? Remember that this is interactive, and you should be interacting even if your answers are wrong. The idea is that you can relate to the games and learn. Yes, and learning idioms and phrasal verbs with jokes, with humor, with memes, with a lot of different humorous ideas. I think it's something that you should be taking advantage of. So let's see if the answer is correct. And we have under the table, very good. Now, for the next scenario, there's no time to waste. So let's get straight to the main issue. So remember that we saw this idiom and I gave you some ideas on how to remember it. So let's check your messages now and let's see what you think. A is cut to the chase. B is in hot water. We saw it's a problem. And C is to climb the corporate ladder. So I'm going to read your messages. What does it say? And let's see the answer. No more messages? No. Okay, so when you cut to the chase, you get straight to the main issue. You're going to get a copy of these. Of course, you can print it. It's a lot of work on my side, but I would love to give you a copy of this. I want you to learn these idioms before you take more lessons. For the C2 level, because it's proficiency and a lot of you may not be, of course, reach this level because it's a native level, I prepared some idioms that I thought were essential, but I thought that they were also interesting for a work environment. So when you push the envelope, you innovate and you go beyond what is normally accepted. So our team is known for pushing the envelope in creative marketing campaigns. So it's more used for marketing material, for creative messages, for innovation, technology. And when we burn the midnight oil, we work really late into the night. We had to burn the midnight oil to get the project finished. And the history is that around the 1630 30s, the oil lamps, the oil lamps that were very, 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 very old, they were so common, and you needed the lamplight in order to see while you were reading or working late. So you were always like burning the midnight oil, and that meant that you were working late. So if you were using that oil, it's because you were up late. Also, red tape. We use red tape a lot in Spain when we speak in English. For the bureaucratic procedures, they will be so slow, all the paperwork. So we could launch sooner if we didn't have to deal with so much red tape. There's a lot of red tape for journalists when they want to write about something that is challenging, kind of clipping. There's a lot of red tape when you're an immigrant like me. I live in Spain. I was born in Argentina, but I'm also Italian. I have a lot of red tape all the time. So this is something conventional for many countries. When you throw someone under the bus, you betray a colleague. You push them, okay? So you blame them to save yourself. We don't do that. I'm a good person. I wouldn't do that, but I know a lot of people who would throw people under the bus. So instead of taking responsibility, he threw his assistant under the bus. This happens a lot. It wasn't me, it was you. So they are throwing you under the bus like that. So we're going to the last quiz. To meet the deadline, the team had to stay up late working on the final report. A, push the envelope. B, burn the midnight oil. And C, deal with red tape. So you are staying up late. So what do you think? And I'm going to read your messages. You are thinking like, oh, this one, okay. Let's see. B, okay. See if you agree, if you're on the same page. And yes, definitely you burned the midnight oil. When the mistake was discovered, she blamed her colleague to protect herself. Of course, you know this one, right? So I'm going to read your messages now. A, to throw someone under the bus. B, to push the envelope, and C, to burn the midnight oil. What do you think is to blame a colleague? Other says A. And let's check the answer. Very good, excellent. So, for the scenario, the project's progress was delayed because of unnecessary rules and paperwork. What would you say? A, B, or C? So, we're going to check the messages now, and A is to throw someone under the bus, B is to push the envelope, and C is red tape. So, what do you think? A, B, or C? C. Let's see. So, yes, all the rules and paperwork are red tape. Very good, excellent. So, contribution is really vital. I really love your contributions. You can send me messages and comments on this video. It took me several months, not to say years, to create this workshop because I really wanted to make it fun. I wanted to give it a touch of humor, and I wanted to create something meaningful to you. So please subscribe to the channel, give me a message, send me some email, and you can accept our 15% discount if you want to take private lessons. We also have group lessons, so you can always subscribe to the channel, send us a message on WhatsApp, take advantage of our special discounts. And also, you can write comments under the video, so you have a space to say what you think, things that you would like to tell me about this webinar. And I have now 4 people connected. I thank you so much for being there. We had over 200 subscribers this week. And I really appreciate you joining us because I'm making a lot of videos. I went to Ireland in the summer. I created this. You will see like the playlist is called English Immersion Ireland. And every short video, it's less than a minute. And you can go with me and you can travel there and have a total immersion in Ireland for free. If you want to subscribe, you will get new videos on Ireland and you can travel to magical places there and practice talking to strangers. I will talk to strangers and you will hear the videos and practice there. We also have a lot of pronunciation because it's my special field, and accent reduction as well. You will see videos about how to pronounce the V, the B, the Th, all the letters and sounds that you cannot master yet. That will make your English so native. So take advantage of all this. Thank you so much for coming. And we have all these for you. We are an academy in Spain with a branch in Argentina. I'm the academic director and CEO, Melissa Sotile. And we have Leo as a sales manager and CFO. And we have teachers and coaches that can teach you whenever you want to make a reservation. So, see you next time. And I love to have you here. And I really appreciate it coming. Thank you so much for all your messages and hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you.